Hi, this is Michael from The Modern Edge, and I'm going to share with you guys some energy saving tips. I was going over our Summit budget guidelines, and in the guidelines I found out that we were about 0.5% too high on our energy usage. So I'm going through and doing some things to save some energy for the salon, and starting with changing out the bulbs into LED bulbs. So I'm going to show you what I have here. Here you can see that this is a traditional old T12 bulb. It's a fluorescent bulb that uses a ballast to put the energy through, and it lights up the gas inside. They use 32 watts per bulb for them, and these are the new LED bulbs, and they only use 12 watts per bulb. And you may have fixtures like these. Give me a second to show up. And here you can see like the old fixtures that we have, and all we did is change out the bulbs in them into the LED, and I'll show you how in a second. And then here you can see one of the older style ones that has the T12. So it's much dimmer and it tends to have a flicker to it. And I'm going to show you the process of converting that into an LED fixture to save energy. So our first step is to open up your ceiling fixture, and you'll see your old T12 bulbs. Some of them may be a T8 bulb, which is the same thing, just a little bit of a smaller size. They're all universal outlets on this side up here, and they will all fit for an LED bulb, which is about the size of a T8. Also, some of them have this little piece of metal here. All you have to do is push up, and that will come down to let you get the bulbs out. Also, there's a little track right here. So if you turn this bulb and wiggle it, you can run it down into this track and turn and be able to drop these old bulbs out. So I'm going to remove the bulbs, and then I'm going to show you some wiring techniques to cut out the ballast to make it a little bit more energy efficient on top of the new bulbs. The next step is to open up the inside here by squeezing this right here like this and releasing these little pins. Some of them may have screws on the corner there, and you'll just unscrew them. Once you open that up, that's going to show you the wiring and the ballasts, and we'll go on to the next step for that. So when I first opened this up, it looked like a big ball of spaghetti, and there was all these different wires, and I wasn't quite sure where to go at first. So I took a moment and watched some other videos and stopped to analyze it. So over here, we have our power supply. So we have our white and black wires coming in, and then here where they connect, or the outlets, are called tombstones. And you can see there's different color wires coming through. So your yellow wire is going to be your white, and your blue and your red are going to be your black. So what we're going to do is disconnect this ballast here by cutting these wires. And this one has 2 ballasts, so we'll cut all of these wires off. And then we're going to just directly wire it as if it was a regular lamp that doesn't require the ballast to light the gas inside the fluorescent tubes. So the next thing, we'll snip all those wires. You could choose to take the ballast out by removing the screw here and just popping the ballast out completely, or I'm choosing just to cut them off and leave them in place so I don't have to tear anything down. But you can see here, it's telling you the volts and energy. So this itself is using energy as well as the bulbs. So by bypassing it, it's going to save us some more electricity as well as the LEDs. So I just have my basic wire strippers here that has a little cutter on the inside. I do have the power shut off, and I'm just going to go close in here and cut them off. And then same thing, I'll follow this over, and I'll just continue to snip these off as close as I can here until they're all cut. And then I'll show you the next step for the wiring of where we're going to rewire everything back together very easily with some quick connects. So a lot of these have a lot of long excess wire here. Some of it we're going to use, and some of it we're going to reuse in another place. So right here, this one just has to go to these wires right there. So I'm going to cut that off at a length right there. And then I'm going to reuse this piece of wire to connect over to this side to connect them together. So I'm going to use one connector to put them together, and I just used my wire strippers and pulled off the end so they're stripped down. And I'm going to use a quick connect to link them back together. So again, blue and red are going to be our black wire, which is going to be the energy coming in or the load, And then the yellow wire is going to be our white wire or our neutral where the energy is going back through. So we'll just quickly connect them together. So here you can see the quick connect, and you can see I stripped off maybe about a ½ inch of the end. And I'll just take that and put it in there and push hard until it secures. And that's going to take my wires from my light and connect it to my black wire for my power. And I'm just going to continue to connect them back over to the power supply on the other side of the light. And here's some of the tools that I was using. I just had a pair of needle nose pliers that have the cutter in them. I had my stripper tool. I had some wire nuts, the quick connects, which came in a big package like this. Very inexpensive. I think there's 30 of them in there. So that was, and then my little pack of wire nuts. And then here was some of the extra wiring I used from one side to the other. So here you can see we have our power coming in here. We use the existing wires that were nutted to it. So we have our white going all the way across to the other side and connecting into our yellow here with the quick connect. We have our black coming through. For this one, I just used a wire nut so you could see both ways. So we basically have totally bypassed the ballast, and we just have everything hardwired right in from the power into each side, into your tombstones. The first time I looked at it, into the outlet part of the tombstones, they are reversed on each side. So these two are going to be white and those two are going to be black, and then on the other side they're reversed, so that way the bulbs have a white and black each connection on each end. So this is another lamp fixture. This one was with a T8 bulb, so they were the smaller ones, and this one was much more direct. So all the black was on the left, and then all the white was connected on the right. And another thing is you don't have to cut the ballast and remove it if you have the correct bulbs. It's just one more step in energy saving. So some of the bulbs are designed to work with a ballast. So this is my last light fixture that I'm working on, and I took out the T8 bulbs that were in this one, and I just put in one of the LED bulbs without removing the ballast, just to double check that it would work. And that's awesome that the technology is there now, that we can have these new LED bulbs that will work with a ballast, without a ballast, and they're also double-ended, so it'll work for both sides. So some of them you have to have a certain side for the power, but with these new ones, they're really great. One key thing to notice is on the back there is a silver coating, and inside all the LED little light fixtures point down. So it's just important that they would be, this side here would be up, and then the glass side would be down. And these are frosted ones as well. And in the link below, I'll be sharing the website where I got them from. I got a great deal on them. Ta-da! Here we are. So that's the finished connection. So we put our wiring back in, the housing cover back on, our new LEDs in, and that's how we completed the installation and the rewiring of it.